You are not exempt from success. And never let anybody tell you different. You control your decisions to do what's best for yourself and to become great. Good morning. Today's the day it's time for you to have that talk with yourself. Maybe you did it yesterday, maybe you didn't. But today is another day, and again, it's important to have those conversations with ourselves. Self-talk, self-motivation. Because without that, it's going to be very difficult for you to overcome anything that's a challenge or anything that's an obstacle. The body will quit if the mind isn't leading from the front. So you need to make sure that every day you go into whatever it is you're doing, your job, you're going into waking your kids up to start the parenting day, you're just going about whatever it is you're doing, your mindset needs to be the first thing that's ready, because everything else is going to follow it, because it's going to lead. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter what you want to do and where you're currently at. It doesn't matter what you think you can't do. What does matter is that you're psychologically, mentally telling yourself you can. Because everything starts with the goal. Everything starts with the thought. Nothing gets accomplished without results every single day. Work. There's nothing that's going to overcome that. Work, work, work. And everybody can do whatever you want to do. You're capable. I'm not talking about, you go throw a basketball around, you're going to jump into the NBA. And I'm not talking about putting up a post on Instagram that's going to go viral and you're going to buy a yacht. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about self-growth and being the best version of yourself you can be in life. Not today, tomorrow. Not just tomorrow. 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. We all have a current state of mind. And we all have a state of mind we would like to be in. You don't just wake up one day and shift that mentality and everything's true. You got to work, because the harder something is to achieve, the more success comes with it. And if you're not prepared for the grind, if you're not prepared to deal with non-stop failure, you're never really going to be able to experience it and blossom to becoming the best you can be. You can do it. We all can do it. And it doesn't matter what that goal is. Your goal doesn't have to be a millionaire. Your goal doesn't have to be to have a 5,000 square foot home with a huge yard. Your goal may simply be to be a good person, take care of your family, love what you do, and be able to help people. That is something that's the dream, in my opinion. You can make money, that's fine. But again, when you pass and leave this earth, I forgot who said it. I just heard it not long ago, but it was a great analogy. When you die on earth, there's no U-Haul behind you. Meaning you don't take anything that you bought on this world with you. So instead of worrying about all the things that money buys, let's worry about the things that you can do and you can change and that you have an effect on. And that's always helping people and becoming the best version of yourself. It doesn't matter where you're at today. Okay? I'm 38. When I was 12, I didn't have no confidence. I've spoken before. I was bullied when I was a young kid. And I didn't really have a place where I felt, that I would be able to just express. I was very kind of quiet, private to myself. I had friends, and I like to play with them and go outside and do things. But in the end, when it's, inside the house, the doors are closed, there's no confidence coming from me. I didn't have what a lot of kids have when it comes to that self-esteem. It's way harder now. Back then, you didn't go onto Facebook or MySpace or anything and put on this persona, this facade that you're somebody else. You didn't do that. You were who you were. So you had to deal with things, and hopefully you had mentors or you had parents that were able to instill these things and let you know what life is to be expected of you. In the end, though, you don't know until you experience it. When I was 13, that's when I joined the wrestling team, and I did it because, my cousins were doing it. I was not into it. It wasn't something that I decided this is going to be great for me. I did it because I didn't have no self-confidence. So I started to wrestle. I wrestled all through year-round, through the school, through the off-season leagues, the freestyle. I wrestled. I showed up to practice. Not one day was I confident, and I don't think I've ever said that before. Not one day in the wrestling room was I confident. I didn't think I was good enough to be one of the best guys. And my results showed it. I was okay. I was a 500 record wrestler. And I kept going because I knew it was good for my mind, and I knew it was good for my confidence, which it did help. Because by the time I got to high school, I was very open, and I was conversating. I was able to speak in front of people. Again, I was class clown senior year. Crazy to think that, knowing where I came from. Even now, I don't even know how I got claimed class clown. I'm not a jokester for the most part. I'm more of a dry humor. And I guess people just clicked with it because I wasn't trying to be somebody I wasn't. I was me. So the wrestling room changed my life to this very day. I'll never deny that, and I will always put wrestling on a pedestal for that reason. You're going to have a certain experience that's going to change your life. It doesn't have to be through a sport. It can be through anything. Being a part of a team, though, is so good for a confidence in kids. I can't stress that enough. But I graduated high school. I had no plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to college for 2 weeks and I ditched. That was the extent of my college. I started working I started working in middle school with my uncle doing yards, in the summer times for middle school. And, that wasn't really about getting paid. It was more about staying busy. And it helped me a lot because I learned about the value of hard work and what it takes to actually earn a living, waking up at 5 a.m. on my summer, staying out till 3 or 4 o'clock. So I learned a lot of good lessons by doing that, and I'll take that forever to the grave, the things that my Uncle Gene taught me about that. And, after I graduated high school, I just kept on working. I did a lot of different jobs because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and it was a paycheck. When I was 18 years old, I was a bat boy for the Fresno Grizzlies. You know what that means? I was a grandpa. All the other bat boys from all their teams were 12, 13 years old. I was 18. But I did it, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I worked in the casino. I worked, delivering beer, delivering soda, delivering bottled water, selling cars. But let me tell you why I did all those things. Because the day that I turned 18, I moved out on my own. And that's when life became real, because now I was responsible for bills. I was responsible for waking myself up, for going to work, for doing enough to make sure that I didn't get fired. But the day that I stepped my foot into a gym was the day that I realized I think I may have found what I want to do. I say I think because it wasn't something I ever saw myself doing to this very day, being a gym owner, doing martial arts, helping people every day, and overcoming and overtaking who I became, who I am today. I just knew I liked to work out, and maybe I was going to train and go compete and do something. There was no goal. There was no rhyme to the reason. I just did it. So I got into it. I liked it. I got my certification, started training people, started doing all these jobs to accrue the skills I did not have. I had zero natural talents, okay? I went to the gym, and those two combinations molded who I became. My work ethic has been unmatched after I turned 25. All throughout my early 20s, I was trying to figure it out and to get these skill sets, the sales, learning how to overcome objections, talk to people, learning how to approach people that I've never met before, friendly, with the ability to build rapport, communicate, understand people's thought process, understand and be empathetic to people and their wants and needs. These are all things that it takes if you're going to be in the industry where you're dealing with people in service, especially as a personal trainer. You can't just have a great skill on training people and think that you're going to load up your clients. No, not going to happen. So if you're a personal trainer, you're starting off right now, and you're all about learning all the technical words, all about the different body mechanics, understand this. It's important to know what you're doing. You better be great at what you do. But more importantly than that, you better be great at talking to and helping people. And you better be passionate about it. Okay? Because there's no money in it at first, and maybe even in the long term. It just depends on what your goal is. It's all about the passion, about helping people. You will not survive in an industry that's overloaded like the fitness industry if you don't really care about the people you're helping. In the health industry, you better care about saving people if you're a nurse or a doctor. Otherwise, you're just working long hours for somebody else. So again, I spent a lot of years molding who I became. Didn't just jump in and say, let's see what happens. That's nonsense. I make sure that I got all the skill sets I needed, so that way I can help people and know what I'm talking about, know what I'm doing. And I worked hard through my 20s. I got a job at Bally Total Fitness after all the things I just talked about. Skyrocketed my way through promotions, got to a general manager. By the time I got to a general manager spot, I didn't like it no more. I didn't like it no more because I was working day in, day out for a corporation under somebody else's terms for somebody else's dream, which is fine. But it was then and there I knew that I want to be in this industry on my terms. I want to help people on my terms. I don't want to put anything in front of the value I'm giving to the people that I'm able to help with my abilities and the experiences I've gotten over the years. So I left Bally Total Fitness on their terms. But by the time that happened, mentally, I was already prepared for it. I understood my work ethic wasn't going by anywhere near enough to be able to allow me to maintain my position. So I went on. I took that year hiatus where I just did physical labor just to reboot my brain. I was feeling myself starting to hold resentment towards the industry. I knew for sure that wasn't going to be the end of it. I love to help people, talk to people. That's who I became after the years of me transitioning to that. So I took the year off. I came back with a vengeance, with a plan, with a mindset that nobody was ever going to put a dent in. Wasn't possible. Still not possible to this day. Won't be possible when I'm 70. Because of the self-talks that I've had with myself. Because of the lows I've been through. Again, I've been at rock bottom. I was successful financially in car sales. That all got taken away the day I went out to celebrate. Drank too much, got a DUI, and had the carpet pulled off from under my feet. Car repossessed. Couldn't pay for my apartment no more. Had to file bankruptcy. This all happened when I was 25 years old. 24. So I lost everything. But I needed that to happen so I could rebuild this. Okay? Your mind controls and leads the entire journey of your life. So no matter where you're at today, where you were yesterday, you have injuries, it's holding you back from being the best in the gym. You're at a job that you don't really like, you're good at it, but it's not a passion for you, or anything. You are not exempt from success. Never let anybody tell you different. Okay, you control your own thoughts. You control your own mindset. You are your motivator, so do it. We can all do it. I grew up Central Valley in a neighborhood that wasn't great. I didn't have a lot, I had enough. A lot of the people I grew up with never made it out. Understand that. Take those words for what they mean. They didn't make it out, either literally or mentally. So you need to ask yourself what it is you want to do in life. Are you good enough, and are you grounded enough to walk through the fire? Are you prepared to run in mud? Are you prepared to slip and fall on your back and then get back up? Because you better be. You better be if you want to become the best version of yourself. Whatever you are today, you're going to be better than that as long as you tell yourself you're going to be better than that. And then you work towards it. Set the goal. Determine what you want. And then work towards that goal and don't quit. No matter what. That's it. You got to do it. And I want you to. I want everybody on this planet to achieve their goals. It would be better for everybody if everybody was able to. Definitely better for ourselves and better for our family and our kids. And I'm here. I'm here doing what I love to do every single day, and I'm just never gonna stop. Nobody's gonna stop me. Because I'm the only one that controls my mind.